pianist, who was a normal man, disguised himself as a blind man because he knew that people would not have any defenses against a blind man, so he used to come to the house to play the piano and peep into his employer's privacy, not realizing that this action also brought him death. One day Jack was invited by a rich man to perform at his home, and the door was opened by the rich man's wife, Ellie. She said her husband wasn't home and wanted to cancel the performance, but Jack insisted since he had already been paid. As they argued, the elderly neighbor across the hall suddenly opened her door. Ellie reluctantly let Jack in, just as he was about to start the show. The next moment he saw the body lying on the ground. After the music suddenly stops, Ellie turns pale, thinking Jack has discovered her secret. Luckily, Jack quickly pretended nothing was wrong and asked to use the bathroom, easing Ellie's suspicions. But I did not expect the bathroom actually hit a strong man with a gun. In order to not let the other side found the cracks, he can only continue to pretend blindness. Ellie helped Jack back to the living room, where the man on the floor turned out to be the wealthy host who had invited Jack. It turns out that the tycoon came home early to give his wife a surprise, but unexpectedly ran into his wife and the strong man together. The two men are worried about being exposed, so they kill the tycoon to silence him. Terrified, Jack forced himself to stay calm and kept playing the piano while they hurriedly disposed of the body. Thanks to his convincing act, Ellie didn't suspect a thing. After leaving the rich man's house, Jack sat on the side of the road debating whether or not to call the police, because if he did, it would be public knowledge that he was pretending to be blind. After much thought, Jack finally went to the police, but in the middle of his speech, the strong man from the tycoon's house suddenly appeared, and it turned out that he was actually a sheriff. The chief asked what had happened, and Jack quickly changed his story, saying someone had killed his cat, but the chief was suspicious, and to confirm if Jack was really blind, he offered to drive him home. As soon as he entered the house, Jack put away his contact lenses. The sheriff finds a newspaper on the table and Jack explains that it's used to put cat poop in, but the sheriff didn't stop there, and then deliberately took out a knife and threw it at his side. Seeing Jack didn't flinch, the police chief believed he was truly blind and relaxed. A few days later the rich man's body was found, but the sheriff ruled the case an accident. At the funeral, Jack was invited to perform, and the wealthy man's daughter asked him to teach her piano, to protect his secret. Jack agreed. Meanwhile, the elderly neighbor told a cop that before Jack entered the house that day, a man had gone in first, possibly the killer. The policeman finds Ellie and asks her to prove it, but Ellie says the old lady is mistaken. That kind neighbor ended up paying for her honesty with her life.